Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to another live stream of Hearthstone. Today is Friday, December 15th. As we get full of further and further towards Christmas, Fridays are probably going to be even more empty as far as viewers and commenters, and I'm not gonna be really surprised if that happens. I need to play one more enrage card and try to win. So trying to win right now, we're on the European account, is slightly difficult. Like, I haven't built any decks that really can win, and for that reason I don't even know what I would really want to do there. I probably should put some time into it and make 9 decks that I think could actually maybe succeed. We, particularly on the European account, could probably do that. Let's probably save some time and just make one Murloc deck. A Murloc deck probably would work fine with me. And then I could play that. I need to hold on to this guy. Just on one enrage thing. But I have gotten to the point where I'm starting to delete the default starter decks that this account had in favor of decks that will actually get daily quests done. There is a PC Gamer article I've yet to get to talking about how the daily quests are monotonous and boring, and I cannot disagree with that at all, that they are very monotonous. I would prefer, the thing here with the daily quests is they want you to log in and play every day. So if you just got a daily login bonus for logging in, that solves the login thing.
I wonder
if you had a daily login and play bonus where just every day you're logged in, you were and you played 3 games, 3 ranked games or whatever, they would give you 60 dust or 60 gold. I would be super happy with that, instead of giving me specific things and trying to push me to play specific things. They've taken me so far, Hearthstone and Blizzard has taken me so far away from focusing on making a game that, or a deck that will win, that more than half of my custom constructed decks are just around doing the daily quests. They're just about getting gold, to get more packs, to get more gold, to get more packs. It's an unending cycle that really doesn't push me any further to getting up the ladder. Even when I tried to go up the ladder, my skill level for the amount of time I was willing to put into it was just too low. So they've got some major problems here. PC Gamer has a review for a game called Gorogawa, Gorogoa. Never heard of this one. Let's see. It's a Windows game.
I wonder.
Seems like it's a puzzle game with sliding puzzles that you can move around, and except for the sliding tiles are actually interactable, and so you in each square you can click on something to zoom it in until you have it in the right place. So there is a bird in this image I'm seeing. There's a bird with a there's a bird sitting on the branch, a fruit sitting on a different branch, that you had to zoom in to line those up. And then there's a bowl that you had to zoom in so it was large enough that it was under the fruit. And when all of that was placed in the right place,
Who you want me killed?
when all that was in place, you can, the fruit fell down into the bowl. That's an interesting game, if there's a lot of that. So the concept, it has intrigued me. The PC Gamer is giving Goro Gala an 85 out of 100. That seems like a decent score if I could trust PC Gamer on those scores, which I'm not sure. Here's a slightly strange thing. As I understood, I may have misread the story, but a popular PUBG PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds streamer named Dr. Disrespect, I think accidentally confessed that he was cheating on his girlfriend or his wife live on stream, or maybe he intentionally did this to just explain the hiatus. Now, here's the thing that I imagine a lot of people might forget about. Drama drives interest really high. And I have seen other YouTubers, not particular video game YouTubers, but other YouTubers, claim infidelity, have entirely scripted affairs, have entirely, like, hugely dramatic events occur. There have been YouTubers out there that have said pets have died, parents have died. It has happened. I'm not saying what he's saying isn't true, and I'm not saying it isn't all coming from an honest perspective. It's just everybody should take everything said on the internet with a grain of salt. Markiplier's pet dog just died, which is kind of funny because I just subscribed to Markiplier to start watching him, and the first video I see of his is him talking about his dog dying, and I didn't even watch past the first few seconds. I'm like, well, that's sad for him, but I have literally no investment in you as a streamer since this is the first video I've ever watched of yours. And so, yeah, any of these things probably should treat them as real. I don't know if there's really anything as a viewer you can do or should do. In general, if you take a step back, if somebody was cheating on their wife and they were working a regular job, you generally don't or aren't allowed to just take a vacation from your job or take a hiatus from your job. That's not how the real world works. It does seem to be kind of the way things work in politics, but there is at least an argument that in politics people are elected to be moral authorities, and if they show a lack of morals, there might be a reason. To things like that, to allow or want people to step down. This and we'll play this. Job done. On a bigger point, don't cheat on your significant others. It's just rude. Honestly, just break up with them. This is the problem inherently with marriage and having, in this case, he has it says, quote, I have a beautiful family, a wife and a kid. Having children and getting married just overcommits you to things that a lot of people cannot stay committed to, clearly. The heart wanders. So ideally I would prefer everybody who wants to cheat on their wife or girlfriend to just break up with their wife or girlfriend first and say I'm interested in this, or and this is what I'm gonna do. It might lead to a slightly more open relationships, where a wife might say, okay, fine, I'll let you sleep with this one person if it makes you happy. But more than likely it's just going to lead to divorce, but cheating on them leads to divorce anyways, and it's a much nastier divorce. I think most significant others would prefer you come to them straight and say, I'm going to cheat on you, but I haven't done it yet, let's break up. Over hearing, I already have cheated on you. It also starts the conversation to perhaps find the underlying issues why somebody might feel they want to cheat if they're not getting emotional support, which often is the case in relationships. It starts all lovey-dovey in that puppy love stage, but 2, 3, 4, 5 years into the marriage, there's not much love going around from either side. It's just become a burden and an obligation to be around this person. And most marriages are lucky if they even make it to 15 years, let alone the rest of their lives. Apparently, Dr. Disrespect had a Chinese company that was sponsoring him, that called NetEase, and they're no longer taking part in the Rules of Survival Hunt of the Streamer event on the 17th with 29 other streamers at Dr. Disrespect's quest. So he won't be at one tournament. Company of Heroes 2 is free on the Humble Store. Get those free games while you can. Here's that Disney merger. I've already talked about it a lot. 20th Century Fox for $52.4 billion. It's obscene how much money corporations are allowed to have. Like, literally, the right word is obscene how rich people in the United States are allowed to be. Morally objectionably obscene. Because we still in the United States have people starving to death. We still have homeless. There's clearly things that money that's being hoarded or ill-gottenly gained, which is frankly how a lot of it is gotten, that these large corporations have. And personally, at a certain level, I think all countries need to have 100% taxation after a certain level of profits, to the point where that directly goes to the unfortunate people that are homeless, people that are disabled, people that need health care. The reason that healthcare is such a huge mess in the United States, or at least one of the many reasons, and people don't often see this, is because corporations overwork and under-insure as far as health their employees, and they overstress them. So there is a direct connection to people drinking alcohol and smoking and taking drugs, and them being overstressed and overworked at jobs. There's a direct connection to people working jobs that don't give you health care, and people not getting the preventative maintenance health care of an annual checkup, of seeing a specialist when they think something's wrong, of just seeing a doctor, even getting something as simple as a flu shot, which a lot of insurances used to not pay for. I think they all pay for it now because of Obamacare. And there is also like direct connections to car wrecks when drivers for companies like UPS and Comcast are put on extremely unrealistic schedules. That increases bad driving, that increases car wrecks, that increases more healthcare. So these corporations are making money when you step back and look at a global or a countrywide perspective off the backs of the citizens, and they need to be taxed much more heavily to pay back. Like, we could easily have like a 100% taxation on over $1 trillion a year, or maybe $50 billion. Let's say it was $50 billion a year. Everything over $50 billion a year that Disney makes goes to the U.S. budget. It could pay down our deficit. It could open the doors to funding schools. It could open the doors to funding healthcare. That is where the money is, and that money is literally coming away from things like healthcare and schooling in a small part. Like, when large corporations don't pay enough to their employees so that their kids can go to a good school, it's hard to it's hard for that school to be funded too. Alright, let's get rid of this not the mage, we'll get rid of this shaming deck. I don't want to continue down this route, but there is a lot more I could certainly say about that. Travis came on saying, "Hey Rydo," hey Travis. So I want to try and make, let's see, where are we? A shaman deck with Murlocs, and see if we can make a deck on this European account designed around winning. Like, we want a real victory deck for the first time. Of course, the quest to play a bunch of Murlocs would be very helpful right now, but I don't have that. And I don't have 2 of all Murlocs, so there's some stuff that I have to deal with. And let's see if we can get Prince Malchusar or any of the princes. So we get some legendaries in there, and let's come back this way. Full health goes to taunt, totems. We'll take this. We probably want Bloodlust. We definitely want this. I do want that one too. I do want that one too. And I want 2 Bloodlusts, so there was something I brought in here that I didn't really need. You could get rid of that, but that wasn't it. That was gonna take out the Dust Devils for Bloodlust. Travis says, "So about the Evil Within game, I forgot to send it to you. I'll try it tomorrow if I get time when I buy it." That's fine, whenever. I half wouldn't be surprised if you never got around to it and you're just trolling me. But like, if people want to give me things, that's fine. If they don't, they don't. If I have to get down to the point where I actually need to make money on this channel and I'm not just doing this for fun, that's when it's going to get nasty, and I'm going to put ridiculous amounts of ads and everything, and everybody's gonna hate it, including me. But until we've hit that point, which I haven't, I can just relax. I've got plenty of games. I've got plenty of games to play. I do want support. It's more the act of support than the actual financial things that I want right now. I want more subscribers and more fans more than I want one more game. Like running this channel for nearly 3 years now, or maybe even over 3 years now, has not been a long con to get one person or a few people to give me a few Steam games. Remember, I spend well around $300 every summer sale on games myself. So the thought is definitely appreciated, even if you don't get around to it. So here's the PC Gamer article. Daily quests aren't fun, they're just tedious. How a couple of easy quests a day can really get in the way of a good time. I may just read this full article. It's an odd feeling when playing a game weighs on you as like an obligation. I certainly have that feeling. While the discussion over the unsavory ways the developers manipulate players is entirely dominated by loot boxes and microtransactions these days, which, let's face it, a card pack is a loot box. People seem to not realize that half the time. That's not the entire tool, not the only tool to entice players to come back again and again. If you're a fan of Hearthstone, Destiny 2, World of Warcraft, or even Rainbow Six Siege, you're already actually aware of the draw these games have to log a little time in every day, even if you don't want to. It can feel overwhelming, and it's all thanks to daily quest systems that many of these games employ. And I do log in every day. I don't stream every day or play every day, but I do log in nearly every day to check the daily quest. Let's see, Travis says, I just wanted to give it to you because I thought you would like it. I just have been busy working. That's fine. That's cool. Yep. We're all busy, except for maybe me. I don't know if my busy as a YouTube streamer really equates to a lot of the busy of real world people working. I used to work a real world job that was like 60 hours a week, and that was certainly not fun. Let's see, I guess I'm gonna skip down and see if they've got any special thing here. Well, they've got an image here with 4 daily quests. I don't know how you would have 4 daily quests at the same time. Let's see. That seems like a glitch. I've been noticing some glitches lately. Let's see. Here, there's a quote in this. But in execution, daily quests can turn the joy of playing into a monotonous chore. Definitely true. Isn't that called? It's not a little thank you for playing each day. It's clocking in for work. It's clocking in for work so that you can have fun later. There's another quote. I must constantly be skeptical of games, the developers, and my motivations for why I keep playing.
Job done.
Let's see. Is there any thing in this article that suggests any improvement? See, this is really just a PC Gamer opinion piece. Talking about how daily quests are monotonous, and yet it inherently fails to offer any solution to fix it. Where I think it's pretty obvious what Hearthstone and other things should do is just have a login bonus, or that just rewards you for logging in, or rewards you for just playing however you want to play instead of requiring you to play in certain ways. Like, I understand how Murlocs work. I've been playing this game for 3 years. I don't need a daily quest to tell me to play 10 more Murlocs. Particularly when nothing has changed in Murlocs for a while.
My life is your
see, Travis says, mind if I play a game with you later in the stream? If you've got time. Which one are you on? The Americas account? Or the European account? Because we can play either one. That will certainly be fun with me. I love to play fans over random people. The only time I would mind something like that is if there was just some kind of daily quest or something that just couldn't be achieved by playing people, and that usually isn't the case.
Battle detected.
So yeah, no suggestion there. The Steam client has updated and it added shader pre-caching and new controller features. The new client has better support for dozens of controllers as well as smoother loading for Vulkan and OpenGL games. Why any of that would be on the side of
Let's show our guests a good time.
Steam clients? That doesn't make a lot of sense unless it's just Vulkan and OpenGL games that are using the Steam overlay. Like, let's see. The latest stable client update allows Steam to download pre-compiled shader code for OpenGL and Vulkan games. So instead of your PC compiling high-level shader code into a version tuned for your GPU, Steam will snag it before you ever launch the game. Interesting. I did not know that they were at that level of technology on graphics card. In a lot of ways, Travis is on the American account. That's fine. I'll switch over after this game. In a lot of ways, right as we're losing net neutrality, Steam has put in a way to spend more of your internet bandwidth instead of using your video card to create things.
The thrill of the hunt.
And the upgraded controller sticks that they have are PS4 controllers, particularly style controllers. So the Hori TAC4, the Hori TAC Pro, the Hitbox PS4 arcade stick, the Venom PS4 arcade stick, which that's nice. What is this one that they have an image of? The Hitbox PS4 arcade thing looks very strange as an arcade stick because it has a standard 8-button layout that you would expect from it's something you would expect for an arcade stick, but instead of having an actual fight stick, instead there's 3 more buttons in a different color, and then a 4th button below all of those buttons. So, apparently with one hand you control up, down, left, right with buttons, and with the other hand you have your standard 8-button high punch, low, usually it's the first 2 buttons are low kick, high kick, low kick, low punch, medium kick, medium punch, high kick, high kick, high punch, and then usually there's something else for the last 2, if there is even anything. A lot of the 8-button layouts really could just be 6-button layouts, as far as I understand it, depending on what game you actually want to play. A lot of the fight sticks are so built around only playing one type of game, like Street Fighter, that it will certainly work with other games, but it wouldn't really work if you were trying to play something like Super Mario 64. Let's see. Take-Two has founded a new publishing label for independent developers called Private Division. They have a video, so I guess I'll watch it. It's like a 5-minute video, so this probably is just a bunch of people talking. Yes, that's exactly what it is as I skip through it. It's a bunch of people talking. Let's see, the games under this label are currently ways off, with the exception of Kerbal Space Programming Making History expansion, and no Private Division games will be released until March 31st, 2019. So they certainly are giving them a lot of time to grow as a independent game dev. The adorable train set builder game called Trax is getting a winter update, I think today, because this says tomorrow and it was published 12/14, so whatever day it is today. Yeah, so Trax is a really interesting looking game that I think would rather appeal to little kids, and they certainly are releasing it at the right time. But as we're just players, what we're doing is get as much experience by doing damage.
Job's done.
Right now it's available for £7, whatever that is, in US dollars. Trax, like, you don't see a lot of kids games, so a kids game like Trax at the right time is one you would definitely want to swoop up if you want to get kids into playing PC games. Now, I'm not 100% sold on the idea of getting kids to playing PC games. It's still probably better if you're talking 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old, 10-year-old. I'd say maybe probably by the time they're 12 or 14 you could get them into PC games, but anything earlier than that, I think giving them a Switch is probably better than anything else. Travis asks, what do I think of the new dungeon run mode so far in Hearthstone? I absolutely love it, but it also has a very little reason to be played. The problem comes right back to the daily quests. You don't get any progress playing dungeon run mode towards any of the daily quests. And so for me in particular, and everybody else really, that means go ahead and send me a request so I know it's you. So I have to play the dungeon run mode either when I have a lot of news, which in the middle of December there's not a time when there is a ton of news, or I'm just playing Hearthstone and not streaming, which I almost never play Hearthstone when I'm not streaming. Maybe if I got sick, but I'm not going to cross my fingers to get sick so that I would have a day in which I couldn't talk, or if I lost my voice or something I might play it. But there's just not a good time to play it. And then when you beat the dungeon run with all of the characters, all you do is get a card back, which again kind of sucks. Let's see, you just sent it? Ah. How did were you the one that lost your account, Travis? I know one of my fans was saying that they lost their account and had to start over again. Let's see, I'll try to beat him with the Paladin deck. Well, since I know he's here, waiting for him to log in. They have to return to the main menu nowadays? I thought you could send a friend request. Let's see, does he have any wild cards? Probably don't. See if that works. And Paladin is who the play is. Travis says, I made a new account, but I still have my old one. Good luck. Like, I don't know why anybody would want to make two Hearthstone accounts. Like, says the person who has 4 Hearthstone accounts. I have one account on my phone that I play against myself to get victories easily and cheat effectively. I have the main account on Americas and then the European and Asian account. Let's see. Just gonna turn. Atari has hit the pause button on its AMD powered Atari box pre-orders. Now it is very memorable to remember that Atari, the company that exists now, is not the company Atari that made E.T. the video game or the original Atari 2600 or 5200 or anything like that. Atari has gone bankrupt and the name Atari has been purchased at least once, but I think about 3 different times. Honestly.
Back to your homes.
So this is just a company that was using their name to make this AMD powered console / computer thing that was gonna try to make new games under the Atari label, but really it was just trying to cash in on nostalgia. It does look like an Atari 2600 or maybe a 5200, so the idea is not bad as a concept, but it would be nicer if they were a real game development company that was actually going to accomplish something, and they can't even get this Atari box pre-orders done right. So at the very least they're pausing it. A lot of less scrupulous people would just take the pre-order money and run. So they are trying to do something, but they're going to have to put more effort into it than they want, and I imagine that we'll find that they eventually decide that it's not worth the effort to make the Atari box. There's a Game of Sutra article about making a Game Boy game in 2017. Apparently somebody made a game called Sheep It Up, and they're doing a post-mortem on that. I don't know why you'd specifically want to make a Game Boy game when Game Boys aren't available for purchase, and you're talking about Game Boy, the 4-palette grayscale system, not a Game Boy Color, not anything that would make any sense at all. Of course, the Game Boy Color took the 4 grayscale palettes and then would apply, I think, just lookup tables to whatever the game was and changed the color layouts to make it look like it was color. And certainly in running a RetroPie device, you can set up RetroArch to do the same thing. So original Game Boy games don't have to be in black and white, which frankly I don't think kids today would put up with that.
What would Uther
Reporting for
glory to the Fedora?
This is the guy you get for defeating the Lich King with every hero. So, in comparison, getting a card back or getting a new hero, I would prefer if the dungeon run had given me a new hero, but it doesn't. So they kind of went cheap even for that. There's a game called Fallen Legion Rise to Glory. It's coming to Switch in 2018. It's a collection including Sons of the Empire and Flames of the Rebellion. It looks like maybe a turn-based 2D RPG game. Let me watch the trailer and see if I can figure out more about it.
Which path to choose?
This
last act of sacrifice. Reporting for
let's see. Move forward trailer. Don't just show me a bunch of logos. Like it really is just a flat 2D RPG turn-based. Well, actually, I don't think it's turn-based. I think it's designed around. There's a button for each character, and you have to mash the buttons as you have characters play, and there seems to be a card element too. Oh. So he defeated me. Oh well. Not the best deck in my hand. Let's see, do I have a better Paladin deck that I can play to try to get victory since I'm over here? No, only one Paladin deck, so come over to casual, wild, play this, and play this, and go. So Fallen Legion looks interesting. Do I have any date? It says 2018. Let's see. There's a Fallen Legion Plus for PC that's coming out. So, but this seems like it's going to be PlayStation 4 only game. It's an NIS American.
None can escape my fury.
I kind of wish I knew a little bit more about the story. All of these JRPGs look so similar that it's hard to know what you're doing or know if there's even a chance of the game being interesting. Yeah, it's a 4-character team brawler style RPG, I would say. I'm not sure there's even an open world element to it. Travis says good game. Thank you, Travis. Good game to you too. Let's play this.
reporting for duty. Job's done.
Could have played that, I guess. The thing about Fallen Legion that makes it slightly interesting, it also seems to have a combo attack, is it's a tame action game, action fantasy world. It's not your standard anime girls in metal bikinis fare. And as the YouTube may decide more and more games like that are not appropriate for ad revenue, it may become more of a workout and more of an effort to find games like Fallen Legion that are similar to those games but still allowed to be shown. Let's see. Next article, Star Wars Battlefront 2's free Last Jedi update is live.
Back to your homes.
Good to know, I suppose. For anybody that wants to play Battlefront 2, I'm not sure there's too many people out there that do want to do that. However, and we already talked about the Fist of the North Star being delayed to March 8th, or Hakuto ga Gotoku, however you want to pronounce it. I'm approaching the end of the news. So I'm back to the Humble Bundle store, which is my marker for the tab to tell me we've hit the end. Let's see what's new. Back to Bed is a game I recognize under these lists of a lot of other games, but the vast majority of these games don't strike me as they're just not name recognizable games. So you may spend $35 on this, and we're halfway through this Yogscast Jingle Jam. And for me in particular, this bundle might work very well if I haven't already gone over budget. But for most players, getting just a bunch of games you don't even recognize or skins for games you don't have doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's see.
Speak your peace.
Mount up! Job's done.
There was another bundle out. There's a couple of software bundles. Like, they have a Vegas Pro bundle if you wanted to get into making video with Vegas Pro for right now. If you pay more than the average of $19.25, you unlock everything. I'm not sure if you're getting actual Vegas Pro though, or if you're getting plugins for Vegas Pro. Yeah, you don't get Vegas Pro unless you spend $20 or more. I know some people that might want Vegas Pro, but then it seems like it's only for Windows too, so isn't there a Macintosh version of Vegas Pro? And some of these things are very expensive on the retail price, like much higher than a $20 game. It's like Vegas Pro says it's an MSRP of $200 or $300. I can't even read the number, but it's a 3-digit number, which that tells you something.
Will be purged.
So that will interest people in that idea. And then there's the book bundles and the mobile game bundles that I don't really cover. And the Codemaster Racing bundle is still going on. And then I have literally no justification for this, but I kind of want this Manga Gamer and Friends bundle. Like, it would be $10 to get everything, and it's just a ton of manga based and I assume maybe some anime based visual novel games. Of course, very rarely are any of these voice acted. The bonus here is if you spend $10+, you also get all of the soundtracks, or some of the soundtracks, which if you're into anime and manga, that would probably interest you.
Reporting for duty.
Seriously?
Evil will be purged.
But yeah, I can't justify actually purchasing this, but you get Eden, Hiragashi, Gushi When They Cry, Chapter 1 and 2, A Kiss from the Petals. If you don't recognize any of these names, I don't blame you. If My Heart Had Wings, Love Kami, Divinity Stage, Go Go Nippon Complete Collection. Hiragashi When They Cry Chapter 3 and 4 is on the second tier. And then When They Cry Chapter 5 is the $10 tier. So you might as well go with the $10 tier unless you somehow already have Chapter 5
Put your faith in the light.
and only needed the previous chapters. Love Kimi, Useless Godless, and Princess Evangela all ages versions. So apparently there is a non-all ages like nudity patch or something for that game. That's slightly interesting too. Some of these games are labeled specifically as Japanese voiceover, which really you should just take as the other games are straight up reading, so that you shouldn't take it as the other ones actually have English voiceover.
This last act of sacrifice.
What's this weapon? An Ashbringer.
Reporting for duty.
I have 5, I can
Evil
build
will be
this.
purged.
There we go. Let's go back to Twitter and look at the news, and then I think we're gonna just, after this game, look just look at the European account, and then we're going into post gameplay. Let's see. I am hoping that in January we have a decent amount of
Is here.
Reporting for duty.
pickup
Will be purged.
around some point in January, and that the slowness on Fridays in particular is just because of December, but it could just be that's how this channel is gonna be
The shadows.
for a while, maybe for a long time. I did see one thing where one of the guys that works at YouTube said they watched channels that succeeded over the course of 2 years, whether they're gonna make it or not. And so the way they explained it, they kind of framed it like if you didn't succeed in 2 years, you probably aren't ever going to. Probably about as solid evidence as I'll ever get that my channel's not going to be hugely successful, which, whatever, honestly, but 2 years seems to be kind of their guideline. If you don't make it big, then you probably won't. And who knows what see, can I do 2 damage this way, or should I save myself? I think what I should do is this, because that's what I have best to do, and then just cross my fingers. Now he's got 13 plus this plus this plus this plus this, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. Let's do
We're
this.
gonna be rich. Job done. Reporting for duty.
Let's see.
Minions.
The Last Jedi movie came out, and it seems like people are liking it, and people seem to be very, very happy to not spoil it. So that I know something happens in it, but I've yet to see anybody review it and do a full spoilers review. Bomber Crew is getting Secret Weapons DLC, a season pass, and a free winter update. That's nice to know. And if I play this, I can't play this.
Which path to choose? My dreaming.
This is just a gamble. And the gamble failed. And I'm still scrolling down the Twitter feed. Yep, there's nothing more. People were very irritated with that Olaf's Christmas special, 20-minute Christmas special video that played before the movie Coco. It irritated the kids because they thought they were there to watch Coco, and then they had to sit through potentially way more than 20 minutes of commercials and show. Then they aired it on ABC, and I watched it, and it's fine. There's nothing particularly awful about it. It's not great or anything. Clearly it shouldn't have been put as a short before Coco, because it wasn't that short. It should have just been on TV. Alright, so I will cheat to get these Paladin victories on the Americas. Let's quit out and let's see. Apparently I have to restart allbattle.net because it's glitching, so we may come back to the Americas account and find out that it is actually, there's some more daily quests there. As this is loading up, Intel has tripled the capacity of its Optane SSD, which the Optane SSDs are installed into a PCI Express 1 slot. I suppose you could put it in a PCIe 4 or 16 or 8 times slot 2. We need to get 2 victories here, and these will be a little bit more difficult on the European account. But it's just victories, so I can probably play the Warlock deck, the Murloc deck I built, and get that done. So yeah, they've gone from 500 gigabytes to 1.5 terabytes of space. Very fast speed with probably enough now. It's really more of a case of just do you want to spend the money for the Optane SSDs, because they are more expensive than buying a SATA 3 SSD hard drive that you would plug into the SATA connector. This is our Tavern Brawl thing, and let's see, Bomber Crew. People seem to be slowly liking Bomber Crew somewhat, although it's not super blowing up the world either. And so that's it for the news, and I think we're good to get in here. This will be a struggle to get the Priest and Warlock victories, and we'll get on that. That's gonna be it for this live stream. Stay tuned for the post show. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.